This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa. Hooray. 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 Eddie Vedder stop. This is it, the apocalypse. Hooray. Let's get going. How about that? Enough singing. Let's body. It's been a while since I played KG3. Probably 2 weeks. So we'll see where we're at. I don't even remember. Batting fifth in the lineup. Not good enough. I don't know why I keep singing. I have issues tonight. I have a few issues tonight.
A look from downtown San Diego and Petco Park. Tonight, the first of this 3-game weekend series.
So I can't really remember where I'm at with KG3. Obviously, last season we did not make the playoffs. We started a new season. And I think we're very, very early in this new season, yeah. 286 batting average, 12 home runs. Maybe we're a little farther than I thought in this season. I'll have to check the schedule after this. That was the slowest pitch. 81 miles an hour. It seemed like it was like 40 miles an hour. That was weird. Oh, right off your chin. And he's, of course, going to throw me out. Of course. I freaking smashed one off his chin. And he still has the composure to stop what he's doing, pick that ball up, and throw me out at first. Unbelievable. But here's where taking a break from outfield really hurts me, because fielding in the outfield is, well, that's not going to help. Fielding in the outfield is so much different than fielding in the infield. And if you don't get enough practice at it, you can look like a fool. And if you go back and watch any of the old Ken Griffey III videos that I have on my YouTube channel, you will see me looking like a fool several times. I really don't like the way this guy pitches. 89 miles an hour, but it felt like it was coming in at like 5. Something weird's going on here. Everything seems very slow. 81 miles an hour is very slow, really, if you think about it. But that was 92, and it didn't feel like it was that fast. I'm going to have to hang back on these pitches a little bit. Ooh, watch out, coach. Almost took out the first base coach right there. God, I'm so early and everything. That was good contact. Just got a 79 mile an hour slurve. Again early. Can't be. I gotta be 70 miles an hour. 79. It's just unbelievable. And then they'll pitch you one that's 80 and it just looks, or like 85 and it looks like it's 100 miles an hour because its off speeds are so slow. Oh, I knew that was going to come back. Dang it.
So it's no run.
I knew that was going to swing back over the plate. I got to be better than that, kids. How's everybody doing out there? You guys hear me okay? Everything look good? Smell good? That's what's up. Look at that little shovel pass for the double play. good play by our shortstop right there.
Hitting an error in the inning, but they failed to score. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4.
See if I get a pop fly this time. I should be able to do something out here. Here it comes. I got it, I got it, I got it. That was close. It was a long run.
Types of balls where you worry about collisions out there. This ball's hit fairly sharply, almost exactly between the two outfielders, but this should
It was a very
always
long
be the
run.
center fielder's ball if he can get to it. So he calls for it and he puts it away.
I got it, yo. Comes another chance. Another chance for me to mess up. I'll never get into that one. Oh, you got to it. I almost collided with you. It's so much more fun on the outfield, though. MLB 14, the show. My main guy is going to be an outfielder, that's for sure. Is anybody else, or is it just me, like when a pitch comes in and you go to swing, your whole body moves? Like every time I hit X to swing, like I really like get into it. I feel like such a dork when I do it too. I'm playing a video game, but I'm like so into the game that when I swing, especially if there's a pitch that I know I'm gonna hit, like if it's coming right down the middle, I'll like move my whole arm into the pitch, into the X button. It's hilarious. I'm sure I'm not the only guy that does that. This is 2016, so my 3rd season. First season, I spent the entire first season in the minor leagues. Signed a bench contract. My 2nd season, ended up taking over the starting role at center field. Won the World Series in my... Oh, I shouldn't have dove. That was dumb. Won the World Series as a rookie, basically. And then last year we did not make the playoffs, if I remember correctly. So we're now in the 4th season for my guy. Fourth season for my guy, and I don't really recall how far we're in. We're going to look at the schedule right after this game, kind of see where we're at. I think I'm going to do an MLB 14, a corner outfielder. Short or center fields, you get a lot of action out there, but it's kind of just running really far and catching it. Corner outfield, I want the chance to have to like run up the walls. Run up the walls to catch home run balls, opportunity to gun people out at home plate. At center field, it's a little bit difficult to do that, and I think a corner outfielder, I have a better chance of having an assist out there with throwing people out at home plate. And then obviously the long runs into foul territory would be cool. So I think a right fielder or a left fielder would be pretty sweet in MLB 14 for my main guy. Obviously, any of that stuff can change, but right now that's what I am looking at doing. All right, I planned on making a video about this stuff, but I might as well just do it now since I'm here and this is recording and this will be on YouTube. Talk a little bit about the whole PED stuff that's happened this week and really the last couple weeks with A-Rod and Johnny Peralta and Nelson Cruz and or is it Nelson Cruz or Victor Cruz? One of them's a football player. One of them is a Texas Ranger. But basically the last couple weeks, all the stuff has really been coming out that they're going to get suspended. All these guys that were on the biogenesis lab list, basically. Suspensions were handed down on Monday for everybody. Obviously, Ryan Braun was a couple weeks ago that they handed that one out.
And guys, the Padres were led to victory by the excellent start turned in by this.
But thanks, Crash, for that. Penis, my dear. That's from Celebrity Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live. Hilarious stuff. Make sure you look that up on YouTube. But anyways, all the guys that were on the list got 50-game suspensions. Those were all handed out on Monday. And then A-Rod got basically all of this season and all of next season as a suspension. And he is the only one that was on the list that appealed his suspension. All the rest of the players, everyone, even Ryan Braun, all of them accepted their punishment and accepted their 50-game suspension. Now, my take on the suspensions is obviously we don't really know what evidence they have against these guys. But clearly there's enough as evidence against these guys because they all just took the suspension and said, we are going to take the 50-game suspension. Even though they never passed or never failed the drug test, They never failed the drug test. They were never caught taking the PEDs. There was enough evidence to say, we are going to take this 50-game suspension and not go against arbitration. Because really, if you think about it, if you don't fail a drug test, how can you be fined liable for taking drugs and serve a 50-game suspension? Because if you think about that, that's a third of the season pretty much for baseball. That's a lot of money that they're giving up because they don't get paid while they're suspended. It's a lot of playing time that they're giving up. I mean, that's pretty huge. So to not actually fail a drug test and have to go through that, obviously there's some pretty damning evidence against these guys. And obviously, as part of the new collective bargaining agreement thing, the baseball office and the... see, I could have easily thrown home for that, and I wasn't paying attention because I'm trying to talk about this. But obviously it was with the new collective bargaining agreement, your just name has to be mentioned in the same breath as PEDs and you face a possible suspension. So that's why those guys all just accepted the suspension. And also the union for baseball players said that they were not going to help these guys that were part of this list. Now, once the A-Rod suspension was announced, which was a little bit later in the day after all these other guys got their 50-game suspensions and all accepted it, the A-Rod suspension came down, and it was... Some people are pissed because they think that it should be more, but he basically is getting all this year and all next year banned from playing baseball. So suspended for basically a year and a half, or a year and a third, or something along those lines. Pretty much a year and a third, because we're a little bit over that mark. So it's something like 200, and I think it was like 214 games or something along those lines. He's the only one that decided to go to arbitration on that and fight the suspension. Now, I don't really know this for a fact, but I don't think he's not admitting that he did PEDs, but he's basically not saying anything. But there's apparently just damning evidence against this guy that not only did he take PEDs and was actively involved with PEDs in this doctor, but that he was actually recruiting MLB talent to come to this guy and get their PEDs from him. So it sounds like not only did he cheat himself, but then he tainted baseball by getting even more people on these performance-enhancing drugs, which... to me is even more damning than taking it, if you really think about it. So I am 100% okay with the suspension. I think he should have got even more than that. I really think he should get a lifetime ban. I mean, they ban people for life for betting in the game. How could you not ban a guy for life for introducing PEDs to all these different players? And there's a list of, what, 12 guys or something on the names that were involved with this. I mean, he basically got most of those guys involved with PEDs. So to me, that's way bigger than whatever Pete Rose did betting on a freaking baseball game. It's just silly. So I can understand the reasoning for the ban, for the 2-year ban, basically. And to me, I think it should have been longer than that. But here's where I'm on the side of A-Rod. And don't get me wrong, I hate the guy. I hate everything he stands for. He clearly cheated on several occasions. Admitted that he took PEDs on several occasions. So I am not defending the person of the thing. I'm just looking at it arbitrarily, which is what arbitration's all about. All these other guys are basically on their first offense, and they got 50-game suspensions. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I could be wrong on this. I do not believe A-Rod has ever been suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. His name was part of that initial thing where he was taking them when he was with Texas. He admitted to it, said he was wrong, all that kind of stuff. I don't believe he served any time for that.
All the world, it was a sure single leading off the inning. It was certainly hit hard enough, but evidently it was hit a little.
So if you think about it, he really has only been implicated this one time. So why is he getting so much longer of a suspension than the other guys? That's where I think he might actually win arbitration. Not to say that he won't get suspended, but I don't think it's going to be for a season and a half like it is right now. So that's kind of my take on it. Leave a comment. Let me know what your guys' thought on this whole thing that's happening. Obviously, if you think with your heart you want the guy out of baseball, even if you're probably a Yankees fan or a Alex Rodriguez fan, you can understand why people would think this guy really does not deserve to be in baseball anymore. But at the same time, if you think of fairness of the game, of the suspensions the other guys got, is it fair that he's getting as much a suspension as he has? Because it's really unprecedented right now. I mean, the suspensions are supposed to be 50 games, 100 games, and then lifetime ban. So why is it he's getting a 214-game ban, basically? To me, that's where I think arbitration's going to side in the favor of A-Rod, even though I wish it wouldn't. So what do you guys think on that? That was a long rant, but I think it deserved to be talked about a little bit more in depth than like a 2-minute video I throw up on YouTube. Oh God, I just cannot get my timing together with KG3 tonight. Yeah, YouTube chat sucks, guys, I know, but I like doing it here every once in a while, just to kind of spice it up. We'll be back on Twitch in the next day or two. Should have let that. Oh, that was gonna be a strike anyway. God dang, man. Is that an infield hit?
He just did everything right here on the mound.
That was terrible.
He made a good pitch. He got his guy to hit the ball on the ground. But baseball's just a little bit like life. You know, things don't always go your way.
That was funny. They kind of ran into each other, so the pitcher couldn't get to first base. Hilarious. I just can't get my timing with KG3 tonight. Like, everything seems very slow for some reason. It's weird. Look at that Jets, how close it is. I don't know if it's my batting stance that's so much different than P. Rich's. If that really has anything to do with it. Or what, but the last few pitchers I've faced, it just seems like the pitches are coming in so slow. Look at that call, that's horse crap. Tell you what, though, as far as the A-Rod suspension goes, I'm sure the Yankees would hope that he get a lifetime ban so they don't have to pay him his contract. Oh, god dang. Terrible. There's certainly a lot of arguments of why the guy should be banned for a long time. Maybe forever. There's also arguments against it. Like, why is his suspension an abnormal amount of games compared to the rest of the people that were involved with it? But you can see it going either way, and arbitration person is supposed to look at it arbitrarily and not take the side of either, and look at all the facts of the case, all the facts of suspensions in the past to make a really sound judgment on what they should do with the guy. So that's really the only reason why I think that the arbitrator will favor in the side of A-Rod. "96 miles an hour, it looks like 10. It's so weird how, like, it just seems so slow. I don't get it. I don't know if you can pick it up on the video. Every pitch just seems so slow, and then swing at that shit. God. Unfortunately, we are in the time and age where if you have a good season, people are going to automatically think you're on performance-enhancing drugs. It sucks. That's just the time of baseball we're in right now. Hopefully that will go away at some point, but it's unfortunately just the way of baseball right now. Look at how many innings we are. 18th inning, bases jacked. Can I please just get one in the outfield? Oh my god! Buddy! That's my first ever walk-off home run in MLB 13 to show, if you can believe that.
Well, if you're gonna win a game with a final swing, you might as well do it in style. A walk-off grand slam.
Walk-off grand slam. Unbelievable. Like I said, that's the first walk-off home run I've had in MLB 13 the show. Unbelievable. How am I not player of the game?
And a good offensive performance here, but I think we can
Who's this guy?
This fellow right here is our top player of the game.
He only had 2 hits.
He came through with a couple of hits, but more importantly, that big
I had the game-winning grand salami. I should be player of the game. Look at how many at-bats, man. Holy shit. 9 at-bats. Went 3 for 9. What a freaking strange game right there. 3 for 9, home run, 4 RBIs. Body bag. That's hilarious. What a game. Alright, let's take a look at the schedule. Oh yeah, we're very early. We're only in May. It's the very beginning of May even. Alright, let's sim to Cincinnati, because that's a park to hit in right there. Well, that makes up for abysmal performance earlier in that game. Huge home run, man. That was freaking awesome. You think that's a top 10 play worthy moment there, Crash? I'll make sure to include my bodied in it when I screamed it out loud.
There at the replica smokestacks above Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. It's the opener of this 3-game series.
I also love playing outfield because you get to see like the inside of the stadium like you never see it like if you actually went to a game. Like it's just cool like being on the field and being able to like look at the whole backdrop of home plate, and I think that's super cool. MLB does such a good job of modeling these stadiums. So cool. Oh, Bastu. Bayou! I'm starting to figure the timing out just a little bit better, so hopefully we can get on a little bit of a hitting roll. Hitting streak, I should say. Get this thing going.
Here's another look at this swing in show motion. Check out the hands getting into good position. The hips start to rotate, and then
I love show motion.
That's great extension all the way through the ball. That's the perfect swing right there.
KG3 still has the one-handed release. I think it just looks more like Ken Griffey's swing in real life. But I switched to the two-handed release on P. Rich, and I think it looks so much better. Well, that might be out of here. Throw it. I'd love to one time just smash into the wall in outfield. Like, I've never really seen that playing center field. What do I want to see in MLB 14 the show? I'm going to have to make a video for that one. I did a wish list for MLB 13 the show last year. I'll do the same thing this year at some point. And give you my MLB 14 the show wish list. Really, honestly, they could put out the same game with all the updated graphics and cool new features of the PS4, and it'll probably be a sweet game. It'll feel completely different just because of I'm assuming they're going to come up with a new engine for the game, a new graphical engine, just because the processor and coding and all that stuff will be different on the PlayStation 4 compared to the PS3. So it should look and feel like a brand new game, even if they don't add any real new features to the game, if that makes sense to you. Wow, that was a good throw. That was a damn good throw to freaking second base right there. Not even close, but... Oh man, tell Little Crash you'll have to watch the replay. I am starting to rip the ball now that I might get thrown out here. Oh, good thing that throw was offline. I talk about this quite a bit, but this year compared to MLB 12 the show, when you hit ones down the line like that, I get thrown out way more often than I ever did in MLB 12 the show. Seems like almost every freaking right fielder over there just has a freaking cannon of an arm. Like, that guy got to that really good. Like, played the angles on that perfectly. Typically, if they throw that on the line to second base, you are out by a mile. Yeah, that's one thing I asked for in MLB 13, the show wish list, was the ability to, like, take over a current player in the MLB and make that your road to the show. Like, this year, for a perfect example, is take Puig and just become Puig, and that's your road to the show guy. But then they could even expand it to guys that aren't even rookies. Like, maybe you can just take over Miguel Cabrera and see how you can make his, finish his career. Can you finish Miguel Cabrera's career with the most home runs in the league and all that kind of stuff? I think that would be sweet. You wouldn't think that would be that difficult to really do, honestly. They already have everybody's updates stats and all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be very difficult for you to just take over a guy's career. It would also be sweet if they had some legend guys in there. I don't know how the licensing and stuff works in this game. Because if you look, like, if you go into the record books, it doesn't say people's names. Like a home run record, it doesn't say Barry Bonds. It just says San Francisco Giants or whatever.
Boy, and in a tie game, you got it.
So I don't know how the licensing would work. Like, if you could, like, recreate Babe Ruth, or not recreate him, but just say, I want to be this legend, that would be freaking awesome. I just don't know the logistics of that being able to be done. I love streaming on Twitch more than YouTube. Both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. YouTube, the quality of the video looks better, in my opinion. Like, the quality of the stream looks better, of the video, the crispiness, the color, the clarity, all that stuff looks better on YouTube, in my opinion, in the streams. However, the chat is completely garbage on YouTube, and it's exactly why the YouTube live streaming will never take off until they can do something about the chat. Because it's not live. Like, all of your updates that come in, like the questions and stuff you ask are like 2 minutes or so behind where I'm actually at. So that's why I really try to avoid answering questions in YouTube live streams, just because by the time I see your question, you've already moved on to another question. So it makes it kind of pointless. I try to hit some of the topics you ask for, but I don't, like, address them specifically. The one thing I do like about YouTube too is that when I do these kind of live streams where I'm clearly going to upload this to YouTube, it records and saves at the same time. So as soon as I'm done live streaming, it puts a copy of the video right on my channel for people to watch that weren't able to make the live stream. Twitch obviously does the same thing, but then you have to go and edit it and upload it and all that kind of stuff. Oh. I also like the fact that on YouTube I can schedule the streams. So in the morning I can say, okay, I'm going to stream at 8 o'clock. I can set it all up. And you guys all get notifications that I just scheduled a live stream for tonight, and you get a little nice countdown clock and all that kind of stuff. Some of those features are awesome. I hope Twitch adopts some of that stuff in the future, especially the scheduling of live streams. I think that would be awesome. What a rundown. Jeez, I felt like I had to run forever. I had to freaking run a country mile to get to this.
He's got a long way to go, but that first step, that's the difference. And he gets a great jump on the ball, runs it down in the alley.
I mean, that's a double all day, man. That's a hell of a play. It doesn't look like it, but that's a hell of a play. Well, you can say that it's because Barry Bonds uses PEDs why his name isn't listed on the record books in the game. But if you look at any of the records, it doesn't say any players' names unless they did it while they're playing Road to the Show. So, for example, like last year in a lot of people's Road to the Show, in MLB 13 the show, or 12 the show, sorry, a lot of people's records changed, like Miguel Cabrera or A-Rod or somebody like that won or took over like the home run record, and it actually said their name at that point. But any records that were in there before you started your Road to the Show, it doesn't have any player's names. So I'm thinking because they're not in the league anymore, they don't have license to use that person's name. Like it's not covered under the MLB Players Association or something anymore. Honestly, you could say like I like being a power hitter. I mean, who does not like to be a power hitter in baseball? The problem is with this game is that at some point your training points become whatever there are. For example, I can make a pure hitting guy, all contact, no power. After a couple of years, you're going to have so many training points that you're going to start putting points into power. So however you look at it, you're eventually going to be a contact and power hitter, if that makes sense. Because with KB, for example, I never envisioned KB of being a base stealer. But at some point, you have to put all those extra training points you get, you put into speed and you put into base running ability and all that kind of stuff. So even if you're not planning on being a base stealer, eventually you will become a base stealer. I don't have the bandwidth to be able to stream to both at the same time. I don't even know if that's physically possible, like with software and stuff. Oh, he didn't go home and didn't get an RBI. That sucks. At least I got another hit.
Boy, and they have not been able to get him out. This is now a 5-hit ball game.
5 hits in one game.
Every day.
That happens because we're in extra innings again. What inning are we in? It doesn't even say. Does it? Oh, 17th inning. So we went like 18 innings the night before, 17 innings this one. We are not going to have any pitchers left. I might have to pitch next game. Gonna sub me in to be a relief pitcher this game. You watch. Alright, let's go.
From one of the more hitter-friendly yards in the
Hitter-friendly yards because it's a little easier to get them out of here. Oh, come on. 98 miles an hour. This guy's freaking throwing rockets out here. I'm hitting rockets out of the park, baby. Come on. Body. Cause it's cold as ice. Sacrifice your love. Since we weren't at home, I gave you a little sample. Shut up, Sarah.
Having real trouble locating his pitches. I mean, this is another pitch that's biting off way too much of the plate. They've roughed him up for 2 home runs already, and we're not out of the first yet.
Let's go, let's go. Those are so boring. Give me something I gotta work for. I'd love to make a diving attempt or something like that. I'd run up the wall, that'd be sick. Never seem to get the opportunity. And then I just completely botched a ball I should have got to. I don't even know how I missed that. I think I just overran that one. Freaking let him tie the game up. Bunch of horse crap. Oh, the high fastball. Can't lay off of it. Oh, does that? That's not far enough. That was close. Just hit it to the wrong part of the field. Not many home runs go out there. That was KB's favorite spot to hit home runs, though. Left center field. That's where KB hit. I would say 70% of KB's home runs went that field.
So it's
defense is not my strong game, man. I think the big thing is I just don't play KG3 enough to have enough experience in the outfield. So I'm kind of excited for MLB 14. Playing the outfield all the time. It should be fun.
So they go quietly here in this half inning. On to the bottom of inning number 6. And we
Just so you know, guys, too, just like regular videos on YouTube, if you click the little gear button underneath the video, you can bump it up to 720p if your computer can handle it. It should look way better for you. Just in case you didn't know about it. Oh, he was at first. I thought he was at second. That's one of my big problems too in this game. Even with P. Rich, I do the same thing. I don't pay attention to like the outs and where people are located on the bases to make better defensive, especially to better throw decisions of like where I should throw the ball. Oh, bodied. There's been several times with P. Rich where I could have got an easy double play and I throw to first instead. Not paying attention that there's a guy on first base that I should be getting a double play. I do that a lot with KG3 as well. It's like if there's a guy on third base and there's only one out, there's a good chance that dude might run home. So I should, instead of hitting my cutoff man, gun it home. But I mess that stuff up all the time.
You gotta keep the ball in the ballpark. He's still got a lead to work with after this home run, but his margin for error is pretty much gone now.
And guys, the Reds were able to claim victory here thanks in no small part to the efforts of this man on the mound, Steven Strasburg. Talk about a worthy recipient. He's our tops player of the game.
Yeah,
Steven Strasburg. I didn't even notice that was him pitching. He's playing on Cincinnati now, huh?
Aside from that, he was definitely a difference maker out there.
Alright, let's take a look at the schedule now. Oh, we still have one more game. I swear we played more than 2 games there so far. Alright, we'll play this one. I like playing in Cincinnati just because there's a good chance I can do what I did last game and hit 2 home runs. Not a big fan of pinch hitting, though. Especially when you're on a roll and you get in a pinch hit. Kind of throws you off. Especially if you're like in the middle of like a hit streak. And then you have to come in and pinch hit. That's a lot of pressure to keep your streak going. Not that I have much of a streak going, so it doesn't really matter, but... But there you go. If I did have a hit streak going, it's over now. And just because you get a pinch hit, one game, one at bat, either you get a hit and continue the streak, or you don't and you're out. Like, you would think a manager would be smarter than that, but obviously they don't really care about your little personal hit streak goals. They care about winning the game. But if you were on like a 40-game hit streak, do you think a manager in real life would play that guy in a pinch hit situation like that? That could ruin the guy's ruin that guy's hit streak? I don't think they would. Even if you were in the middle of like a playoff run or a long streak or whatever as a team, do you think a manager would hold the guy out just to try to keep the guy's streak alive, or do you think they would do whatever's best for the team and put you in there? It's one of those interesting conundrums coaches have to go through all the time. Everybody likes to play that backseat coach where you like look at something that's happening and be like, I would have done it this way. Like Jim Leland is a Tigers fan. If you listen to Detroit radio, that guy gets bashed on a lot for when he makes decisions of taking people out of games, especially pitchers, and when to bring bullpen help in and that kind of stuff. He gets bashed for that. And it's just like the simplest little things, and people on the radio will just yell at guys for that kind of stuff. It's just amazing like how many decisions actually go into a game. The lineup, all the different changes, when to bunt a guy, when not to bunt a guy, when to send a steal. Third base coaches, when to send a guy home, or when to hold them up at third. There's so many decisions that go into a baseball game. It's so funny the next day after you have time to digest what just happened to call a radio show and nitpick about the littlest stuff. It's just hilarious. To me, it's hilarious. Oh, that changeup.
Well, they used the pinch hitter.
That changeup.
Time to hand out Topps Player of the Game honors for this one, and guys, I think we can.
Alright guys, we'll probably play another game, maybe two, and then we'll call it a live stream. Let's have a look-sees. We're going to play Colorado because they're in our division. Continue playing these guys. We won last game against Colorado. Let's see if we can win some more.
There's Petco Park on a fine night for baseball here on
all of the
show.
mashups I have in my
Two of this four-game weekend.
in my MLB The Show game, if you do a search on YouTube, actually if you just do a search on Google, the White Stripes, you can basically download all their albums for free right from their website. Seems like I'm always in against left-handers. Oh no. There we go. It's in the gap. I'm going for two.
Here's another look at this swing.
Show motion. Love it.
Check out the hand getting into good position. The hips start to rotate and then whack. That's great extension all the way through the ball. That's
Whack.
the perfect swing right there.
That's close. That's tough to lay off. Those low ones I usually swing at just because I'm still not used to reading them as well as I was before. The whole guess pitch turning off is still a struggle sometimes. Wow, thank you for that call. Thank you for that call, doctor. Screw you and your changeup. You can take your changeup and shove it where the sun don't shine, sister.
Well, here we are. It's the second month of the season.
Oh, I hate you. God, it's like people know that I can't hit change-ups low. And where do they go? Change up low.
So another good inning for him on the mound. 6 shutout innings now. We're through 6 full. Rockies lead this one 1-0.
Alright, pitch me for real. Now we got a different pitcher up here. Even look at his changeup and slider are those top pitches right now. You gotta be kidding me with that cheese. I've noticed that cheese ball that's 50 mile an hour thing, it only happens when they have no energy left. That doesn't happen in real life, so I don't think it's supposed to be in the game. But it only happens when they don't have any energy, at least from what I remember. Alright, boys, I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you again, all the people that came out and watched it live, and for those of you guys that weren't able to make it live, hope you guys enjoyed the video on YouTube. And I'll probably do a P-Rich live stream either tomorrow or Friday on twitch.tv/Bafe. Just keep an eye out on the YouTube channel for a video on that, and make sure you go over to twitch.tv/Bafe right now and click that follow button. And then you will get notified when I do go live. Because there's a lot of times, like even last night, I live streamed some baseball for a little while. Or some football, I think. But then I switched over to like payday. So there's going to be times where I play games that maybe aren't sports that I may not post a video to say I'm live streaming. So if you follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitch, both of those places I will post if I'm streaming. So you will get some notification there. And again, thank you all for coming out and watching, and we will see you soon. Peace.